CQ calling all radio amateurs and listeners. This is Golf Bravo 2 Romeo Sierra, the news broadcasting service of the Radio Society of Great Britain. This broadcast comes to you in plain English from amateur radio station Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Mappishall, Bedfordshire. Welcome and thanks for joining us. It's Sunday the 10th of August, and here is the GB2RS news broadcast, which was prepared for you by the RSGB for all radio amateurs and listeners. You can also find this news bulletin on our website at rsgb.org with links to groups and organisations that we may mention in this broadcast. This week's news headlines. We announced 3 fantastic workshops for the RSGB convention in October. The RSGB National Radio Centre has won a prestigious award, and how you can ensure that Ofcom has your correct contact details. We'll have more on those items shortly, but first, now is the time for you to book your place and gain new skills in one or all 3 of the workshops at this year's RSGB convention, which is in October. On Friday, the 10th of October, you can build on the basics of Arduino programming with a 6-hour workshop which will show you how to use direct digital synthesis for RF generation. This session will also show you how to use generative AI tools such as ChatGPT to write software. You can book this workshop even if you can't attend the whole convention. Now, if you're new to programming, then Saturday's 2-hour workshop is a great place to start. This session will introduce you to microcontroller programming through a short presentation, which will then be followed by practical exercises. On Sunday, you can book a 2-hour antenna building workshop that will show you how to make a 49:1 balun for a low-power end-fed long-wire antenna. Spaces for the workshops are limited, so you must pre-book. The workshops are subsidised by the RSGB Legacy Funds, and every attendee will receive a £5 RSGB book voucher. To find out more and to guarantee your place, go to rsgb.org/convention and select Workshops from the right-hand menu. Book your convention tickets with the same link, and early bird pricing closes tomorrow, Monday the 11th of August, so book now for the lowest price. Now, we're proud to announce that the RSGB's National Radio Centre has been recognised in TripAdvisor's Traveller's Choice Awards for 2025. Winners of this award are among the top 10% of listings around the world on TripAdvisor. The award is based on genuine feedback from visitors who left an authentic first-hand review on TripAdvisor over a 12-month period. And the award reflects the passion and dedication of the RSGB's volunteers and the fantastic role they play in promoting amateur radio. To plan your visit to the NRC, it's very easy. Just go to rsgb.org/NRC for National Radio Centre. And if you're an RSGB member, you can download your free entry voucher at rsgb.org/BP voucher. That's Bravo Papa Victor Oscar Uniform Charlie Hotel Echo Romeo. Now, we encourage you to check that your license address and email details with Ofcom are correct. You can also choose your contact preference. Ofcom will use these details to contact you about phases 2 and 3 of its planned updates to the amateur radio licensing framework, which includes changes to the new intermediate call signs and new rules for special event stations. You can find out more about UK licensing at rsgb.org/licensing. Peter Duffett-Smith, Golf Mike 3 X-Ray Juliet Echo, will retire as editor of Radcom Plus, but he will stay on as Radcom's technical editor, which has kept him busy for the last few years. So if you would like to apply for the role of Radcom Plus editor, please email radcom@ at rsgb.org.uk. International Lighthouse and Lightship Weekend runs from 0001 UTC on Saturday the 16th to 23:59 UTC on Sunday the 17th of August. The event usually attracts more than 500 lighthouse entries from more than 40 countries. To register for the event and to see a list of participating stations, visit the event website, which I'll spell phonetically for you. It's India Lima Lima Whiskey November Echo Tango. The 13th Scottish Microwave Round Table, or GMRT, takes place at the Museum of Communication in Burnt Island in Fife, Scotland, on Saturday the 1st of November, starting at 10:30 a.m. and finishing at 5 p.m. And it has an interesting programme of speakers, and there will also be microwave test facilities available for you to use. You can also buy components and microwave-related items. They'll hold an optional dinner in the evening at a local hotel, and you can find more information and online registration at their website, which is GM Roundtable, that's all one word, gmroundtable.org.uk. Now, just to let you know, the event has a maximum capacity of 50 people, and many tickets are already sold, so book now to avoid disappointment. Now, a reminder for you to please send details of all your news and events to radcom at rsgb.org.uk. The deadline is 10 a.m. on the Thursday prior to the Sunday broadcasts each week. Well, now we have the rallies and events news for you. The Flight Refuelling Amateur Radio Society Hamfest was on earlier today, the 10th. That was held at Cobham Sports and Social Club Ground in Merley near Wimborne, Dorset, and that event closed at 4 p.m. a little earlier today. And another rally which was on earlier was the Rugby Amateur Transmitting Society annual rally, which was held at Princethorpe College in Rugby. So we hope that everyone had an enjoyable time at those two rallies. Now, we've got quite a few forthcoming events. On Sunday the 17th, it's the Finningley Amateur Radio Society Rally, which starts at 10 a.m, and you can find details on their website, which is golfhotelkilo.com. Also on Saturday the 17th, it's the West Manchester Radio Club Red Rose Summer Rally, which takes place at Mather Hall. That's on Mather Lane in Lee, and the postcode is Whiskey November 7 to Papa Juliet, and that event starts at 10 a.m. In order to get more details, follow the Red Rose Rally tab on their website, which is whiskeyMikeRomeoCharlie.co.uk. And now we have the special event news. Special event station Golf Bravo 1 Hotel Alpha Foxtrot will be on 40, 20, 10, 2 meters and 70 centimeters using SSB and possibly data modes and Morse code on Saturday the 16th of August, and that's in support of SSAFA, which is the Armed Forces charity. The East Midlands Electronics and Radio Group will be on the air to celebrate the 80th anniversary of VJ Day between the 15th and 17th of August. They'll operate with the call sign Golf Bravo 1 Bravo Kilo, and they'll operate from former RAF Binbrook in Lincolnshire on 40 and 20 metres with SSB. They'll also be on 2 metres FM, so if you hear them, do give them a call. And now we have the DX news. Don Kilo Whiskey 7 Romeo is active as Victor 73 Kilo Whiskey from the Marshall Islands. He's on a work assignment until September. In his spare time, he operates Morse code and FT8 on various bands, and if you're lucky enough to contact him, you can QSL via Logbook of the World. George, Victor Uniform 2 Delta Golf Romeo, is active as Alpha Tango 44 India from the Bharati Research Station. He's a member of the 44th Indian Scientific Expedition to Antarctica, and he's recently been heard on 20 metres using SSB. And you can QSL via George's home call, which is Victor Uniform 2 Delta Golf Romeo. And now we have the contest news. The Worked All Europe DX-CW contest started at 0000 UTC on Saturday the 9th and ends at 23:59 UTC today, Sunday the 10th of August. Using Morse code on 80 to 10 metres, where contests are allowed, the exchange is signal report and serial number. Another contest which was on earlier today is the RSGB Machine Generated Modes contest, which started at 1400 UTC yesterday, the 9th of August, and has just ended at 1400 UTC today, Sunday the 10th of August. On Tuesday the 12th, it's the RSGB's 432 MHz FM activity contest, which runs from 1800 to 1855 UTC. Using FM on 70 centimetres, the exchange is your signal report, serial number and locator. Also on the 12th, it's the RSGB's 432 MHz UK activity contest, running from 1900 to 2130 UTC. Using all modes on 70 centimetres, the exchange is signal report, serial number and locator. On Wednesday the 13th, it's the RSGB's 432 MHz FT8 activity 4-hour contest, which runs from 1700 to 2100 UTC. Using FT8 on 70 centimetres, the exchange is report and 4-character locator. Also on Wednesday the 13th, it's the 432 MHz FT8 activity 2-hour contest, and that runs from 1900 to 2100 UTC. Using FT8 on 70 centimetres, the exchange is report and 4-character locator. And if you entered the 4-hour contest, then you can also enter the 2-hour contest. Finally, on Thursday the 14th, it's the RSGB's 50 MHz UK activity contest, which runs from 1900 to 2130 UTC. This contest uses all modes on 6 metres, and the exchange is your report and 4-character locator. Well, that's all for the contest news. We now have the HF radio propagation report, which was compiled for you by Golf 0 Kilo Yankee Alpha, Golf 3 Yankee Lima Alpha, and Golf 4 Bravo Alpha Oscar on Thursday, the 7th of August. Well, over the last week, we've had near ideal solar conditions for HF propagation, including low geomagnetic indices and a solar flux index around 150. There were 6 M-class solar flares. Summer has low maximum usable frequencies and poorer propagation, which is due to changes in ionospheric chemistry. So we'll have to wait another month or so to see better conditions. The main HFDX this week has been Tango 30 Tango 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 from Western Kiribati, mainly on FT8 and Morse code on 20 and 17 metres. Tango Juliet 1 Golf Delta from Cameroon has also been seen on 17 metres using FT8. Echo 51 Kilo Echo Echo in the South Cook Islands has been logged on 17 and 15 metres using Morse code. And finally, Alpha Hotel 6 Kilo Oscar in Hawaii has been worked on 15 metres using CW. But this may all change. A coronal mass ejection, which we saw on Tuesday the 5th, may give a glancing blow to Earth's geomagnetic field. This may coincide with a high-speed stream from a large coronal hole on the Sun's surface. NOAA predicts that the KP index could rise to 5 or 6. The hole is so large and elongated that we could see unsettled conditions in the coming week. NOAA predicts unsettled geomagnetic conditions from the 11th to the 14th of August and from the 18th to the 22nd, with a maximum KP index of 5. So you can expect reduced maximum usable frequencies and poor HF conditions, especially for paths over the poles. Well, that's all for the HF propagation predictions. We now have the VHF and up propagation news, which was put together for you by Golf 3 Yankee Lima Alpha and Golf 4 Bravo Alpha Oscar. Next week we can expect high pressure in the south and low pressure in the northern Britain areas. There may be some effect from a low over France around midweek, and this may bring thundery showers and a chance of rain scatter on the gigahertz bands. Occasional weak frontal systems will bring patchy rain to the far northwest, but probably not enough for rain scatter. The tropo at this time of year can be very good around the coasts and occasionally inland overnight, but it does tend to weaken inland during the heat of the day. Out at sea, temperatures remain fairly constant and maintain an ideal cool, moist layer at the sea surface with an upper layer of warm air which comes from the land. This provides tropo 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mid-August is good for meteor scatter, with the peak of the Perseids on Tuesday night of the 12th and 13th of August. Apart from digital mode contacts, it's good for sky watching, and it's fascinating to listen to VHF SSB meteor scatter frequencies while watching to get the full experience. It's a broad meteor shower, so don't worry if you pick a night either side of the peak. The chances of aurora are low, but with a few minor alerts to remind us that it's still worth checking. And the main mode for DX will probably be sporadic E, which has around 4 weeks to run, although it does tend to become more random towards the end of the season. For moon bounce or EME operators, moon declination is negative but rising, so moon windows and peak elevation will increase. Path losses are falling and reach minimum at perigee, which is on Thursday the 14th of August. 144 MHz sky noise is low to moderate all next week, and that's all from the propagation team this week. And that's all for this week's GB2RS news broadcast, which was brought to you by Graham, Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Meppershall, Bedfordshire. The Radio Society of Great Britain compiled the news for you, and they represent amateur radio and radio amateurs in the UK and abroad. If you have a news item to share, please email it to us as far in advance as possible, and we'll be pleased to include it for you free of charge in the GB2RS news broadcasts, Radcom magazine and the RSGB website. Send your news to the editorial team. Their email address is radcom@rsgb.org.uk. And if your news item is time sensitive, then it's really important that you send it to us by 10 a.m. on the Thursday prior to our news broadcasts. We retain copyright over all material that we transmit. You can find information about amateur radio on our website, which is rsgb.org, and you can also download the full schedule of GB2RS broadcasts from rsgb.org/GB2RS schedule. Well, we wish you 7-3 from the GB2RS news team. We hope you had a lovely Sunday, and we wish you a great week ahead. This is Graham, Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Meppershall, Bedfordshire. I'll now use the commemorative call sign, which is Golf 5 Mike Hotel Zulu for G5 MHz, and I'll use that for the net in memory and recognition of the sterling work which was done by Gordon Adams, Golf 3 Lima Echo Quebec, and his hard work helped to secure the 5 MHz bands for us in the UK. So this is Golf 5 Mike Hotel Zulu, now listening for any new calls from stations who didn't call in before the news. If you did call in before the news, you're on the list here, and I will call you once we've got the news stations. Golf 5 Mike Hotel Zulu, now listening.